Hello, everybody. I have work I'm supposed to be doing, so instead we're going to rate every single flag of each state in the United States. We're going to determine which ones are good, which ones are bad, and which ones are really bad. Um, so we will be ranking from S tier, meaning the best of the best flags, all the way down to D tier or seal flag. I'll get into what seal flags are in a little bit, but S tier is the best, the A tier is second best, B is about average, C is a little worse than average, D is really bad. Ignore flag hell for now. We'll get to that later. There's just one flag that goes in flag hell. See if you can guess which one it is. It's probably not what you think, but we will figure out which one goes in flag hell pretty soon here. So what a seal flag is, so there was a trend back in the day when a lot of these flags were designed to just have like a blue background and throw the state seal in the middle and call it a day. These are referred to as seal flags, and they will all be rated pretty low because they're pretty unoriginal and boring to look at, with some exceptions. Some of them are okay. None of them are good, but some are okay. So I'm going to go pretty fast through each one here just to keep this relatively short. But yeah, no offense if I rate your state's flag really low. Nothing personal. I'm going to be rating my own home state's flag pretty low because it honestly just kind of sucks, which is a shame, but yeah, no hard feelings. So the criteria for a good flag that I'm basing my rankings on, first, scalability. So a good flag should be recognizable from a distance. So a small version on something like a lapel pin would look just as good as like a large version on the side of like a building or a stadium. Second, it has like a meaningful design, and the elements on the flag have a specific meaning for that state. And third, it's just pleasing to the eye. It's good to look at. It doesn't hurt your eyes like some of the flags on here do, unfortunately. But yeah, let's get started. So we'll start here. This is in alphabetical order, so we'll just start with Alabama. I'm going to pull each one up here just so we can see, get a good look at it. Not much to look at here. It's the flag of Alabama. It's a crimson St. Andrew cross, which is also called a saltire in the world of vexillology, which is the study of flags. A lot of obvious nods here to the Confederate history of Alabama. It's instantly recognizable as Alabama's flag. Simple design, probably one of the simplest out of all 50 states, if not the simplest. But it still gets points for not being a seal flag. So I think Alabama would be about B tier, maybe C tier, a little bit above C tier. So we'll put it in B tier for now. The rankings may change as we go, but we're just going to play small to begin with. Alaska. Pull that one up here. So Alaska has a really good flag. I like Alaska's flag a lot. You got the Big Dipper here, and this is actually the North Star. It's clean, it's recognizable. So this was actually a contest flag, meaning that the state legislature of Alaska put out a call for people to submit designs, and this is the one that was picked. That's kind of a cool way. I always thought that's a cool way to like pick a flag, is to have people submit designs and everybody vote. So yeah, Alaska's got a good flag. It just looks good. Definitely A tier. I'd say almost S tier, but it's just missing a little something. But definitely almost S tier. Arizona has a very nice flag. Let me pull up Arizona here. A lot of these first ones are pretty good. It's a flag of Arizona here. It's a lot of good colors right off the bat. You can tell this flag belongs to like a southern desert state with you got the harsh red and yellow sunbeams here. There are 13 beams for the 13 colonies, which is a common theme that we'll see repeated here. The star in the middle is copper color, nodding to Arizona being the largest producer of copper in the country. So yeah, it's just a good looking flag. It scales well, good meaning for the state, looks good, meets all my criteria for a great flag. First S tier flag, absolutely. Arkansas. So lots of historical nods here with this one as well. Very Confederate looking. The diamond shape referencing the diamond mining that happens in Arkansas. The 25 stars for Arkansas being the 25th state to enter the Union. A lot of good historical nods here, but just not super appealing to the eye. I don't like how they spell out the state on here. So yeah, Arkansas is going to be like C tier, maybe. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good C tier flag. California, certainly one of the most iconic flags. Has a super iconic parody version as well. If you've seen the Fallout games, it's the new California Republic. And Fallout is like a video game series where the world has been ravaged by nuclear warfare, and the new California Republic, the bear on it, has 2 heads, so that's kind of cool. Aside from that, it's just a good design. I know I'm going to be saying that a lot, but got a bear here, obvious nods to the natural history of the state. As a note, a flag with text on it generally won't make it into S tier, as text almost always leads to size scaling issues, with one exception, which we'll get to very soon. But yeah, California's A tier. Put California up there. And the one exception to the text rule is Colorado. So pull up Colorado here. So Colorado has a huge C on it, but it's huge, so it doesn't get lost at a distance, like a lot of the other text in different flags does. Why is that so small? I'm gonna get a big version. There we go. Lots of nods to nature here. You got the blue skies, the white snow, the red earth, the golden sun. It's just overall a clean design. It works well. I can't think of any reason to not put Colorado in S tier, so that's going to be our second S tier flag. Congratulations, Colorado. Next up, we have Connecticut. So we are on to our first seal flag here, unfortunately. Sorry, Connecticut. Yeah, it's the flag of Connecticut. Got some grapes on it. Yeah, like all seal flags, it's just unoriginal, bland. It's impossible to see all the details unless you're super close up to it. So that will be our first seal flag in the D tier. Delaware is next. So Delaware is almost a seal flag, but they did put a diamond in the back here. So nice, I think they call it colonial blue is the color back for this background here. So yeah, again, it's just the seal. They took some creative liberty with the diamond behind and a slightly different blue color, but yeah, still D tier. And we got Florida. So Florida's interesting because Florida's Florida's a state with a lot of like character, let's say. So you would think that Florida would have a more interesting flag, or at least I think that. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's Alabama's flag with the seal of Florida in the middle, is all it is. So it's worse than Alabama, but it's better than a typical seal flag, so it doesn't just have the blue background. We'll put it C tier, right below Alabama. That's fair. Then we have Georgia here. So overall, Georgia, it's okay. Definitely there's some detail lost in the archway up in the corner here. I think this is the most recently redesigned flag. I think like 2003 was when they settled on this version of it. But yeah, I'm thinking a B or a C. I think I'm gonna go with B. You can join Alabama up there in the B tier. Next we have Hawaii. So yeah, Hawaii's a pretty cool flag. One knock here I'd say is there's a lot going on. There's a lot of lines going in every which direction, and they're all the same color scheme. So a little bit jarring to the eye, but obviously we have the British flag in the corner here, and the 8 red, white, and blue stripes representing the USA. The 8 stripes also kind of represent the 8 islands in the chain, so that's kind of a cool nod to Hawaii being the only island state. So I'd say B tier, maybe A tier on a good day, maybe like high B tier, like the best of the B tier. What's next? What is this one? Idaho. So Idaho is a seal flag. but I don't want to instantly knock all seal flags because some of them are okay, like I said before. There are often some cool elements in the seals themselves, but unfortunately this flag itself is D tier. The state seal is the only one designed by a woman in the United States, so that's pretty cool. The seal itself is cool. A lot of these states have really cool seals, but just putting the seal on a flag with a blue background is not a good flag, so it goes in D tier. Illinois. So Illinois, it's not bad. It's also not good. Very Civil War reminiscent here. So you got the state motto on it. This is like a seal flag in spirit, I feel like, but they did go with the white background, so they get some points for originality, creativity. They actually didn't have the Illinois written across the bottom here originally. They had to add it later on during the Vietnam War because it was really ambiguous and unclear what the state flag represented, which, if you think about it, is maybe like sort of a good hint that your flag is a little bit too generic. So yeah, I'd put Illinois in C tier, maybe B on a good day, but we'll put it in C for now. Indiana. Indiana's a good flag. That's a good looking flag. It's simple, it's clean, recognizable, not much else to say. I mean, again, I don't like the text on here, but definitely A tier material. That's a good solid flag. Congrats, Indiana. And we got Iowa up next. So I can't see this without thinking of France, which thankfully was their intention behind it, to call to mind the state's ties to France. The eagle is straight from the state seal, but this is, I'd say, better than any other seal flag, but still not great. I would say this is probably about equal to Illinois in the C tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. Kansas. So Kansas is a seal flag. Little sunflower up here. I'm not even going to bother pulling it up because it's just going straight to D tier. Sorry. Kentucky as well. It's just a seal flag, straight to D tier. Sorry. Louisiana. So this is a kind of a cool one. Spelled that really wrong. So that's flag of Louisiana. Got a cool little pelican on it, which is the state bird of Louisiana. You know, that's different. That's unique. Putting your state bird on the flag. The banner text with the state motto at the bottom isn't my favorite, but I'd say definitely B tier material at least. Yeah, I think that's like right about B tier. I think that's pretty good for it. So Maine is what we have next. And Maine is actually a really tragic story. So this is the current flag of Maine. As it exists today, it's boring, unoriginal seal flag, absolute garbage. But the flag they had before this flag, this piece of garbage, was gorgeous. One of my favorites. The original Maine flag looked like this. I don't know what possessed them to change to this abomination, but this is leagues better. You got beautiful colors here. This would have been instant S tier for me. It's kind of a shame. No idea why they changed it, but honestly, it keeps me up some nights. So yeah, way to go, Maine. If you're wondering what the flag hell section is for, that's for Maine, for having an amazing flag and then changing it to absolute garbage. Yeah. What a shame. So, luckily, right after Maine, we get the palate cleanser flag of Maryland, which, absolutely gorgeous flag. This is a beautiful flag. Instant S tier for me, I gotta say. It's beautiful, it's fun to look at, bright, bold colors. And the colors actually come from the coat of arms of the Lord of Baltimore. It's recognizable instantly at any distance. I gotta say Maryland is probably my favorite of the state flags out of all 50, so congratulations, Marylanders. Is that what they're called? Marylanders? Marylandites? Maryland? Whatever. Massachusetts. One of the hardest to spell states. This is the flag of Massachusetts. Really not much to it. Also has an older version that's better than the modern one. Let me see if I can find the old one. Yeah, so the old one was pretty similar to, I don't know why that's so small, but pretty similar to Maine's old flag, actually, with the big tree on it. This isn't good, but it's not as bad as the current one, which is just the seal on a white background. I would say definitely needs to be a little bit bigger here, especially when using a white background. You need to be so cognizant of using the empty space effectively, otherwise it just looks barren, hollow, or sparse. But again, miles better than the current Massachusetts flag, which is solid D tier. Michigan is another seal flag. Again, another state with lots of potential for a really cool flag. I think like take inspiration from the Great Lakes, sailing, forestry, literally anything other than this, just the seal on a blue background. So yeah, unfortunately, Michigan goes into D tier. Minnesota, state seal, you know the drill. Mississippi. So certainly the most controversial, I would say, of all the state flags, being the only flag to bear the entire Confederate stars and bars here in the corner. Politics aside, this just doesn't look that good to me. Not like seal flag level bad, but close. C tier, but like low C tier. Like Iowa's better than, maybe we'll move Iowa up. Okay, let's move Iowa up a little. Iowa's better than all of these. Okay, congrats Iowa, you got promoted. It's hard keeping track of all this shit. Missouri. So not bad for a seal flag. Missouri is one of those seal flags that is actually not too horrible. Again, because they do creative things with the background instead of just the flat blue background. Stars are a nice touch around, I would say. This is probably my favorite of the seal flags. And this is the highest that a seal flag will be on this list, which is B tier. Montana, again, one of the better seal flags. I'll pull it up here. I think the complementary yellow and blue are pleasing to look at. The cool nod to Spanish with the oro y plata, which I think means gold and silver, silver and gold, or I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. At the end of the day, though, it's still a seal flag, but slightly better than the others. It's like so close to working. It just needs some work, but we'll put it in C tier for now. Nebraska. So again, Nebraska is a seal flag. And they do just the blue background. But I think it kind of works. Everything's really tidy. They just use 3 colors here, the gold, the navy, and the gray here. Probably silver is what they actually call it. I think of like a presidential seal when I see this with the rope lining. Yeah, I think Nebraska will join Montana in these seats here. It's better than all the other seals, but still not a great flag. Nevada. So we're gonna pull up Nevada's old flag first, because Nevada's flag used to be this, which is disgusting. Fortunately, the new one is a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit. This is the current flag of Nevada. State seal on blue background, yes, but it's off in the corner here. So, creative placement at least. Doesn't have as much detail as the others. That would also be lost at more than a step or two away from it. So I guess Nevada would win the most improved award if that was a thing. But yeah, Nevada's also C tier, I'd say. It's like on the border between C and D. It's a low C tier. We got New Hampshire next. So again, New Hampshire is a seal flag. There's so many seal flags. It's such a shame. Yeah, not a lot to say here. It's a better seal flag. You got some ornate detail around the seal here. Plus it's got a ship on it, which is just kind of cool. So we'll say it's just, I don't know if I want to put it in C tier. It's the best of the D tiers. We'll do that. New Jersey. So this is the flag of New Jersey. So you got the seal here with the goddesses of liberty and agriculture. Agriculture being how the state earned the Garden State nickname. We have a non-blue background, which is good, but overall it's just very busy, kind of confusing. Like, what is this horse doing here? The beige color is nice though. It's kind of like a canvasy burlap type color. So, you know, it's the only flag that's that color. So you got to give them some originality points. But yeah, okay, so that's enough to put it in C tier, but no higher than that. New Mexico. New Mexico is a great flag. This is just a really good flag design. Bold colors, the sun, it's like a Native American sun design. So we're going back to the Native American origins of the state. The red and yellow is a nod to the Spanish explorers who explored Mexico. It's really simple, clean design. I'd say the only thing keeping this from S tier would be that it's a bit boring. But sometimes that's all you need. Less is more when doing flags, definitely. But it's a very good flag. Definitely up in A tier. High A tier. Like the best of the A tiers. Really close to S tier. I might move it to S tier later. We'll see. We got New York. So New York State has just a seal flag. New York City has a pretty cool flag. It's, you know, it's got the seal, but they took some liberties with the colors here. Unfortunately, New York State's flag is just not, no redeeming qualities. Straight to D tier. North Carolina. Honestly, I just don't like this one that much. It's very similar to Texas, but worse. It's like a knockoff version of the Texas flag. Banners with words on them rarely belong on a flag if your purpose is for that flag to be easily readable and recognizable. So it's not a seal flag, but I'm going to have to put it in D tier because, well, like high D tier, like the best of the D tiers, because it's not a seal flag, but it's also not good. Sorry. North Dakota. North Dakota is a seal flag, and a generic one at that. We're not even going to bother looking at it, so let's go straight to D tier. Ohio's interesting. So Ohio is the only flag that's not rectangular in shape, which is pretty cool. It's like this weird like pennant banner shape. The stars, I think, make it a little bit busy. Definitely points for originality though. I think there's a redesign here somewhere. Yeah, so this is from the Vexillology subreddit, which is a great place to go if you're interested in flags. So a lot of times users there will submit redesigns of state flags. This is the redesign of Ohio's flag. I think this is much better, a little less busy, although this does just go back to the traditional rectangular shape. But yeah, the stars are a little busy, but overall, this is definitely B tier, like high B tier. So like right up there with Hawaii, I'd say. We'll put it right there. Oklahoma. So a lot of good references to Native American history here. At first glance, this just looks like a seal flag, but it's actually not. It's actually another contest design flag, which is cool. Those always earn points for me because it was designed by somebody living in the States, somebody who's an amateur, usually. Oklahoma's had a lot of flags in the past. In the 1911 to 1925 version is the most, this one, the original flag of Oklahoma, is the most interesting one to me. I don't know why they're so tiny, but it was, it was red, star, 46. They actually changed this one in 1925 because it too closely resembled like communist propaganda. But yeah, overall Oklahoma, it's not bad, but not great. Maybe like high C tier, low B. We'll put it high C tier. We'll put it ahead of Arkansas. Oregon, again, is a really cool state without a cool flag. So, yeah, it's not much to say about it. One interesting thing is that it's a two-sided flag. So the second side, you can see here, just has this cute little beaver chilling on the back, which I think is really cool. Really cool touch. I think just having the beaver alone would be a better front side. I mean, they get points here for having this kind of offset, having it not just be straight. That adds some character to the design, but overall, I'd say low B. I think the beaver, we'll B tier, B for beaver. I think that's fair. Pennsylvania, seal flag, get down there with North Dakota. Shame on you. Rhode Island, so the white and gold on Rhode Island's flag are interesting color choices. Oh, that's an ad. We don't want that. Let's put a big version here. Okay, well, that's as good as we're going to get. Anchor for the state's naval history, but not bad. I'd say B2. Right up there with Oregon. South Carolina. So now we're at the interesting point where we can compare the North and South states, the neighbor states. I'll pull up South Carolina here. Yeah, South Carolina's flag is infinitely better than North Carolina's. Front and center we have the palmetto tree, which was said to, during the Revolutionary War, it was said to absorb British cannonballs with its like a soft wood tree, so it would kind of like protect the American soldiers during the batteries from the British ships. Design-wise, it's just very good. Not too much going on. It's cool meaning of the palm tree. A lot of people think this is a moon, but this actually isn't a moon. It's like the shape of some Civil War like design on a hat or something. I read about it in a book a while ago, but it's not a moon. But it works as a moon. It functions as a moon. But yeah, this is a very good flag. Definitely A tier. Yeah, we'll put it right there. South Dakota. Definitely better than North Dakota. It's basically the state seal on like a light blue background. Better than North Dakota, but still pretty bad. So we'll put it right above North Dakota there. Tennessee. So the 3 stars represent the 3 regions of Tennessee, that being the West, Middle, and East. It's simple, it's recognizable, it's very southern looking, definitely. I get like Dragon Ball Z vibes from this. I think the red is a little overwhelming because it's 90% red, but definitely B tier. Definitely above Alabama. Okay, now we're on to Texas, which is probably the most iconic of all the state flags, let's be honest. The Texans have a really good flag, and they know it, so they put it on everything. And Texans are really proud of their flag, too. Like, it's on everything down there. Definite A tier. I don't think it's S tier, because a little bland. but definitely A tier. Definitely the most recognizable flag on here. I'll put it right about there. Utah, straight up garbage. Straight to D tier. Not even going to talk about it. Vermont, seal flag, better than Utah, not by much. Virginia, seal flag, 3 in a row, straight to D tier. Washington. So I actually have a soft spot for this one. Yeah, it's just got George Washington. It's straight and to the point. You know, the colors are great. I love this green and this yellow and the light blue. They go super well together. It's really easy on the eyes. I think the portrait itself is a little awkward, but I think just the colors alone carry it straight to B tier. West Virginia is a seal. They got a little creative with the borders here, but not creative enough. Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's my home state. I love Wisconsin dearly, but the flag is absolute garbage. So sorry, Wisconsin. Hate to do this to you, but yeah, not good. So the good thing is we get to end this list on a high note. So Wyoming is a great flag. I really like Wyoming's flag. Oh, I can't spell it. We got the bison here. What I would do is just remove the seal entirely from the inside the bison, and it would be much stronger. But it just works. It looks really good. This is also a contest flag, so it gets points for that. Little fun fact here, the bison was originally facing the flying end of the flag, so this end. But since bison are known to weather the harsh winters by facing into the wind, they actually flipped them around on the design, so he's facing like where the wind is coming from when a flag is up flying on a flagpole. Yeah, it's just a good looking flag, you know. Definite A tier. I would put it, this would go straight to S tier if it didn't have the seal in the middle of the bison. So it'll be like high A tier. Yeah, that's all 50. If you're in Arizona, Colorado, or Maryland, congratulations. You have one of the best flags in the country. Yeah. Do you agree, disagree? Are there any that I got really wrong that you really, really disagree with? Let me know. Again, this is just my opinions. Yeah. Sorry if you were in a seal flag state. I am as well. I feel your pain. Contact your legislature. Ask them to reconsider. Open up a design contest. Do anything. All of these states deserve better flags than this. Except for Maine. Maine belongs in flag home because they had such a good design. All right, well, thanks for watching. Bye.